And we're live. Hi, everybody!
Heyo.
I hope
What's
you missed
up?
us. We missed you, I think.
We're live.
Awkward silence.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back. I hope everybody's doing well. I know everybody's doing well because we talked before we went live, but yeah, everybody's doing well. Yay!
Yay!
Guys, it's good
Would
to
you
be back, and we're going to try and probably do a much better job to be more consistent from this point on.
Consistency? What's that?
Except maybe for next week because somebody is traveling and won't be able to make it.
It's
I
moving
guess we
season.
still have I guess we still have to talk about if we might, depending on where the adventure kind of pauses at that point, we might just do a game with 3 players instead of 4. But I can't really say at this point. But we'll see what happens. So. We had a democracy type of decision made on who would do the recap, and apparently I'm the lucky one that is allowed to fill you guys in. But of course, if you're a real fan, you already know where we left off. Just like my players do, they just rewatched all the episodes. All were it 17 episodes.
This is 18, yeah.
Yeah, so 17 episodes they rewatched. I'm assuming everybody did. I mean, I certainly didn't, but
spoiler
most
warning,
people
I
did.
got my cat back.
There you go.
But listen to the cats.
So, in the last episode, there was a confrontation with this foul being in the forest, and it turned out to be a hag who was manipulating and playing the party. But after a while, they kind of figured out what was going on, and they just kind of beelined towards where they thought she would be. Had some interactions with some things on their way over there, but finally found this this kind of large pit or valley where there was a massive dragon skull fit in the middle, and they came closer and started to inspect it, and there was interaction, and suddenly the hag appeared, and there was a massive fight. There was also an ogre with an axe in front of it, and there was a confrontation there. So big fight, and at the end, the party was successful, and they defeated both the ogre and the hag, and were triumphant. Sad thing, however, is, and I'm still a bit. I couldn't think of a better way to fix it at that time, but we kind of made a beeline to the end at that time, because we kind of had to wrap things up. But there were a couple of things I wanted to have said and done and handed out before the stream ended for so long. So I kind of gave the Cliff Note version of what happened. They did a quick scan through the skull, and items were found, objects were found, and not really handed out to the designated person, but just some people found some stuff and were interested and kept it, or might throw it and start talking about, hey, I found this, who wants it? So we're going to pick back up where the party is more or less in this massive skull. And for reference, by the way, is the overlay active as we speak? Yeah, it's okay. So the party hasn't had a long rest or anything yet, so they're still somewhat battle worn from the conflict. But thanks to healing, they're at least their hit points are relatively okay, as those watching on Twitch can see. But yeah, they're probably tired and weary from this massive battle.
I just looked. I haven't got a spell slot to rub together.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So you did massive healing and stuff. Well, you did a lot of heating, not per se dispel massive healing, but you did a lot of healing to get people their hit points back up for any situation that might occur afterwards. But let's just say you guys are in the skull. Let me paint, or at least try to paint a picture of where you are, what things are looking at. This skull is, as I mentioned, massive. It'll probably take about 8 or so human people standing shoulder to shoulder to go from the widest point left to right. And I would say more than 3 times that amount from to start at the start of the skull to where it kind of ends at the back. Somewhat in the back of the skull, there is a fire burning, and there is a kettle on it, and there's an ooze in it. It's bubbling and it's boiling, and there is smoke coming from it. And the smoke kind of goes up to the underside of the jaw of the skull, or the underside of the higher part of the mouth. It's not the jaw, it's the mouth area, and it kind of crawls across the ceiling and kind of exits the holes where the nostrils of this dragon would be. So it almost appears like the dragon is still breathing fire as bits of smoke just come out. Strangely enough, the smoke doesn't exit the openings where the eyes would be. It really seems to follow a path to exit the nostrils. Inside the back, there's the back of the skull just kind of ends where it just hits the ground, and there are cupboards and things standing there with potions and little items and things. And there's between the cupboards there is what appears to be a sleeping area where you would assume this hag sleeps. In the front of the skull, there is a similar sleeping area, but much larger. And you see strings of hair and stuff are there for in different colors, which you assume belong to the ogre who slept there. That's pretty much it. You guys are standing there relatively close to the back because you've already kind of rummaged through the skull and picked up anything that kind of tickled your fancy and was like, oh, this looks shiny. And that's pretty much what I gave you guys turning out. So, picking up there, what do you guys do?
We've already looked through this.
Sorry?
We've already looked through the whole place, right, for items and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, let's. You've looked through it, as in you kind of walked around and kind of picked up like, oh, this looks fancy and stuff. You haven't gone through it with a comb or anything.
Well, we have a comb now, and I would like to do that.
There you
go. How much do we know about the items that we've got yet? So, like the comb, I know you told me what it does, but does Grimhook know what it does yet?
Unless you've identified them, you don't. And I don't know. I actually don't really recall. Has any of you used detect magic on the items?
I did.
You did
right at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you know these items are magical, but you haven't identified any of them yet. So it's not like you go like, oh, I can do this and this with that. You can assume, of course, as you are natural thinking people. So well, most of you are. So yeah, but you don't have like a complete description of what the item does and what you can do with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Gemini, you said you were gonna take your time to go through it. Roll your investigation.
All right. Yay, first roll of the night. Let's get that natural 1. Where's
natural 20?
Do you want Grimhook's going to join him on that one, if that's all right?
Okay.
Same idea.
Can I just give you advantage? Because I got 10.
That's
Natural 20.
natural
go.
20.
Natural 20.
That's me for the
Okay.
year now. Until we
Okay.
have another break. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I'll kill Grimhook off so you can create a new character and get another natural 20. Yeah. Oh, sorry, too soon. Sorry.
Oh dear. Vince comes back as a specter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's what was it you call them? The ones that keep coming back. They don't die.
The zombies?
No, it's like a ghostly thing, but it keeps haunting the person until it has revenge.
Oh.
I don't know. There was a lot of them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Can't
there's
remember.
Anyways,
Revenant. Sorry.
Yeah.
yes.
a vengeful ghost or something like that.
The two of you kind of go through it, through the area, and as you do, you start to get a really good feeling about, or well, a good. You really take in your surroundings, and you start to look, and there are a couple of things you notice. The first thing, which draws your attention almost only minutes after you started to look through it. You find it strange that the soil inside the skull seems undisturbed as much as it's been walked upon dozens of times, and it's very solid. The earth where the fire is on seems to be dug up. The earth looks loose and not at all as walked upon as the other soil. That's the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is that there are a lot of potions and things in the closets, but you check a couple of them and they are labeled. You can't really make out. This seem to be just scribbles to you, not a real language. Apparently, just memory markers for this ag. The closet is stuffed with bottles and things and ointments and items that you can use for probably brewing things. You find two bottles that appear different. The 98%, if not more, of the bottles are dirty. They look used frequently with greasy hands, unplugged, used and things. Two bottles are quite pristine, and they're quite in the back of the closets. They're not close to each other, but you've definitely found them. And as you look at them, they both have a light. The liquid that's inside is see-through. It's very light, but there seems to be little sparkles in it. The last thing you find is in both the eye sockets of the dragon. You see up there, as you kind of look, there's something shining, something reflecting bits of the light of the fire.
Okay.
And your dwarven eyes believe that these are gems.
Okay. Well, I was gonna.
As a dwarf, how does he feel about these gems?
Shiny. Nice.
I was gonna say that while they were doing that, Baron was gonna step out and actually look at the dragon skull.
At the dragon skull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you walk around and it looks old and from the age you would expect it to be weathered more, and there's definitely here and there some light moss growing on it, but the bones still seem vibrant and like it's only been dead for a few years, but you would assume that it's been here for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Yeah. Can I get a gist on? Well, just gonna throw this out. Me being a dragonborn, can I get a gist of like how old the dragon was, or what kind of dragon we were here talking?
Roll your history or nature.
History or
Your choice.
both the same. I'll go for nature.
Okay.
That's an 18.
18. Okay. You want to know the age of the dragon as it died?
Sure. Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for, or what did you go for?
I'm generally just guessing from the way monsters are what kind of dragon it was. You know, was it a young dragon, or was it an ancient dragon, or?
Yeah, you are quite sure that this maybe not an ancient dragon, but definitely a mature dragon. This was definitely somebody that did not die easy. And you would think that it might be the dragon itself, when it died, might be close to 600, maybe 700 years old.
Cool. I'm guessing I can't tell how it died from its skull.
What definitely tickles your interest is the fact that it's only a skull. It's like somebody kind of picked up this skull and placed it here, because you see no markings of, even if you kind of dig around in the ground, you don't see no markings of like neck bones or other claws or things. It appears to just be this skull.
Okay, cool. I guess just about all I wanted.
All right.
How much of what Grimhook saw did I notice? Like, did I notice the stuff around the fire pit?
You guys probably went through it together, so I would say that pretty much everything that he kind of found, he either showed you or you kind of talked about it and like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And so it probably all of you maybe probably all of you heard it. So yeah.
While they were doing that, I would like to investigate Fluffles to make sure that he's okay and unharmed, or Fluffles.
Not a squirrel?
Yeah.
Not a squirrel, yeah.
Roll your perception.
It's a squirrel.
Perception. 16.
It's Vince.
16.
Yeah.
You kind of hold up Fluffles and kind of look at him, and he seems happy to be held. And as you kind of look at him, he looks healthy enough. Probably would like a meal, but as you kind of look at it, you see that on his belly, there's this circle where he's missing fur.
I wanna check that spot out closer. Does it look like it's just been shaved, or does it look burnt off, or does it look?
No, you can see there's little bits of hair still on it. So somebody clearly took quite a sharp knife and shaved it off.
Maybe used for a spell of some kind? But it doesn't look like he's wounded or anything.
No, he looks, you are 99.9% sure that he is fine. He doesn't act like, oh, don't touch me there or anything.
No.
So Externally, you can tell you are 100% sure that he's not hurt. Internally, he's moving around and he's acting normal and stuff. So you're quite sure that also there he's okay.
I will feed him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That
I have
is
my
something
priorities
that
straight. I'm feeding my cat.
Okay.
Now, okay, so I guess Gemini he'll go up to Grimhook and just be like, "Do you want to handle the gem and potion situation? I have a thought." And without even hearing response, he's just gonna walk away and go look at the fire pit area. What's going on with that? It's like undisturbed. It looks like it's not as packed down or something.
Yeah. The ground seemed to have been very recently dug up, and then the ground has been put back, and the fire has been made upon it, and now this kettle is kind of has his liquid in it and is boiling.
Baron, I'll call to outside.
Do I need to make a check for that, or do I hear
No, you hear it. It's not
okay.
like
Yes, Gemini. You know, step back into the skull.
I seem to recall you have a shovel. In this area,
Oh, yes.
Yes, it appears it needs some digging. If you'll notice,
Oh yeah.
there may be.
Throws a shovel to him.
Oh no, I don't do manual labor. Goodbye. Just walks away.
But it was your shovel, Gemini. Why did you have a?
It was given to you as a gift. Goodbye.
Why do you have a shovel if you don't use the shovel?
To give to others for digging purposes.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sleepy.
Oh, it would be great if I knew what he was talking about. Grimhook? Did he say something about earth, ground, or what is going on here?
Grimhook will just turn around and kind of go, I think he means there, and he'll point to the dirt, and he'll turn around and start looking at the potions again, just be like, fucking strange man.
Okay, I suppose I'll dig it up to see what's in here.
well,
Hope there isn't a trap.
It will be hard to dig it up if you do not either move the kettle and extinguish the fire, because it's really there. You can only see at the edges of where the wood is gathered that the earth was disturbed. So you would think that, yeah, it's on the place that you need to dig.
Would the fire count as a small campfire?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have Fluffles in my lap because I'm not letting him go. I think I can help you with that, and I will cast Prestidigitation and put out the fire.
The fire is out.
Thank you, Ellie. I'm gonna actually look at the teapot now and give it a sniff.
It's a big kettle.
Oh, a kettle.
I just
Oh,
realized,
right.
can we still see?
Yeah.
Can we still see?
Can you still see? What do you mean?
I kind of turned out the
Because the
fire.
fire's out.
The fire is out. Do we still have light?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, that would be the main source of light here. So yeah, it definitely gets dark.
Grimhook will sort of mumble under his breath, fucking Wazzix, and cast light.
Okay. So, oh, jeez. First the light goes off, now it goes on again.
That's bright.
Funny enough, people with dark vision would be even blinder, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like me.
That's why Grimhook's looking the other way while he's doing it.
Yeah. So, is there anything in the kettle?
Tea.
Yeah, definitely. There's this strange liquid kind of soup in it. It looks greenish, and it was bubbling quite a bit. Now that the fire's out, it starts to calm down a bit, and you can see things floating amidst it.
You said there was wood under it. Is there spare wood for the fuel fire? I'm gonna lift. Vern's gonna lift a wee bit of wood and dip it into the kettle and then pull it out and see if it starts melting the wood.
You kind of dip the wood in and you pull it out, and it goes in quite easily, and as you kind of pull it out, it's not like it's pulling itself in, but you can tell that there is some resistance as you kind of. It's almost like a putty. Like you pull it out and just like it kind of sticks to it.
Okay, gross.
And there's strings on it, and you can see there are tiny eyes kind of in the slime that's dripping from it, and hair and little bones and some feathers and leaves and all kinds of sticky stuff.
Hey, just drop a bit of weight in it. Just screw
you
that.
Drop it in?
Yep.
Okay, so you let go of it and it just it sinks it.
Right. Is there any way I could move the kettle without disturbing the contents?
You would think that the kettle is now on the outside quite hot. But with proper gloves, you could probably lift it and move it somewhere else.
How heavy would the kettle be?
Not extremely heavy, but definitely not something that you would pick up with one hand. Like, just place it somewhere. You have to grab it on both sides and do a proper lift.
Okay, you can't
How
use
many
mage
people
hand.
how many people know mage hand?
No, a mage hand would not be able to lift it.
Yeah, that was the question.
Just gonna check what I'm wearing to see if I have
I was going to say, have you not got gauntlets on?
Yeah.
If only somebody had gauntlets.
I'm wearing chainmail, so I probably could lift it, but if I hold it for too long, it probably heat me up. So I'll maybe give it a. Well, I'll turn around and go. Everybody, could you stand out of the way so I can move this outside?
Oh, Gemini's asleep in a corner somewhere.
Yeah. I just want to take a quick look. Is there like a staff or a hook of some kind used for moving the kettle?
No, it has little legs under it, so it kind of rests on that. Yeah.
So it's supposed to be a non-motionary.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'll give it a go then.
All right,
with
roll your
gauntlets on.
strength.
I will definitely move out of the way.
Grimhook just carries on at the potions thing, sort of.
Oh dear, oh dear. Just straight strength, yep.
Yeah.
That'll be a 7.
A 7.
Mm-hmm.
You lift it, and you. Oh man, it's heavier than you thought. And as you start to walk, you take like 2-3 steps. You notice that your arms are kind of shaking, and you're not holding it as you would want.
Mm-hmm.
And as you step the 4th time, you notice that the liquid is starting to move around too much to your likings.
Yeah, I'll just drop it then where it is.
You drop it or you put it down?
Set it down.
Roll your strength again.
Okay. At least it's out of the way of the dirt and I can get at it, so. That's much better. That's a 21.
All right, so you controllably place it down, and there's this. You see the gunk that's in it like go to the edge, and almost goes over, but it just sinks, starts to cool down again. Or
is it sitting next to Gemini by any chance?
If
I'm in the back of the skull.
I would think you would carry it to the outside of the skull, so probably further away from him.
Yeah,
unless you brought it to Gemini to show it to him. I mean, he could be interested in it.
Maybe. No.
You can certainly try.
Oh, it fell over. Oh no.
I'm so clumsy.
No, he's going to go back to the disturbed dirt and
all right,
see what's up with that.
You kind of place it down and you're like, ooh. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 20. Dirty 20.
A 20.
Filthy.
As you suddenly see this eye in this goo kind of look at you, and you look at it, and you feel your face kind of drawn towards it. You kind of push yourself off the kettle as the eye disappears.
Hate witchery. And he'll go about searching for the dirt.
There you go. You kind of use the shovel to move the wood out of the way and start to dig. What does the rest do? Gemini, you are sleeping, or are you starting to rest? Are you actually sleeping, or are you kind of just lying there looking at what the rest of
He's getting out of doing any type of work, is what he's doing.
Okay. So you're still observing everybody, but just sleeping?
Just kind of laying there with my eyes halfway open, yeah.
Okay. Elliot, what are you doing?
I would have started very moving the thing and being like, wait, is he gonna spill it? Is he not gonna spill it? And
making
kinda
bets to you
staring
yourself,
at him while he's leaning into it, because that sounds really stupid. But then after he's moved the wood, I'll probably maybe light the campfire again when it's not like out of the way, so it's more light and not just Grimhook's
Yeah, well,
lights.
he kind of
Because
more
I
or
don't
less,
trust that shifted dwarf. He might decide to remove them. And if it's not in a good way to light it, I will probably walk over and arrange it in a good way so we can light it. While keeping Fluffles about and like keeping my eyes, almost keeping a hand on him the whole time or carrying him on moving things with one hand.
Yeah, you keep him close. Varen, how do you move the wood? Do you just kind of push it to the side, or you actually...
Well, it's in the way of the dirt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the dirt. Yeah.
I'll probably just lift it with my hands and set the sort of like shovel aside.
All right. So you could probably light it again, Ellie, quite easily.
I will do.
You just piled different pile. All right. So and you, Grimhook.
He's having a look at those potions. The two vials. He'll just be like examining them. Opening the bottle, having a. Yep.
They smell different, but they look nice.
All right.
You kind of look at them, and you, being quite familiar with healing and stuff yourself, you kind of look at them, and probably with most adventurers, the first thought you go to is like, probably healing potion. So you kind of, no. Both of them are. You're quite sure, unless they're a different type of healing potion that you are unfamiliar with. Not all of them are made in the same way, but this is not the type of healing potion that you know.
Okay. He'll are the bottles like fairly sturdy? Like, can he just put them in his pockets type things, or are they?
They seem fairly sturdy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. He'll pocket them and then he'll turn around and sort of lean against it and watch Varen.
Okay, so Varen is digging up, and probably the fourth time you kind of jam the shovel into the earth, you hear a gunk.
Buried treasure.
There's a gunker in there.
Interesting. There may be something buried here.
What's a gunker?
Oh, it's a thing that goes gunk.
Is it dangerous?
Yes, very, always. Best let Varen handle it.
Grimhook will go closer to Varen and give him a hand while looking over at Gemini, just like, what?
Yeah, that's most people's response to Gemini.
Alright, well, so he's going to brush it out and see if he can lift it out or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. All right. You start to brush it off. You're wearing gauntlets, right? Or gloves? Or okay, so you kind of brush it off.
It'd probably be like, was it like leather gauntlets?
Leather. Okay, yeah, that's probably sick leather. So you kind of start to brush it off. With both the light of Grimhook's spell and Ellie's newly lit fireplace, you see there's a strange-looking stone there. A stone with drawings on them. You are no expert, but you'd feel safe to assume that these are probably magical signs on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can Grimhook have a look at them and see?
You can, yeah.
You can identify them in any way, shape, or form?
I'll go over
help
to
Grimhook?
Gemini actually, or Ellie.
Sorry, you both spoke at the same time. What?
Go ahead.
What did you want to say, Ali?
I was gonna say, can I help with looking at the stones?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
I was just gonna go over to either Ellie or Gemini. Probably Ellie, since Gemini is acting like he's sleeping.
Yeah, and I'm probably
and just
closer.
say that maybe is her profession, basically. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can each roll Arcana for separate from each other, or give one person advantage.
Meta was your plus modifier.
+0.
Oh, then I got +5.
Okay,
There you
I
go.
will assist you then. You roll.
Metagaming much? Jesus.
And that's why I said meta. No one said no.
While they're all doing that and focused on that, I would like to cast a spell over in my corner here, and I would like to cast Locate Object on Vince's pipe.
Okay.
Good call.
So if it's within 1,000 feet in any direction.
All right. There you go. Yeah. So what did you guys roll?
12.
12. Okay. There's
Should've given me
definitely magical markings on it. You are not very familiar with them.
What kind of
You
language?
get the idea or the feeling that it seems to be some form of restriction. It prevents something. And Gemini, you cast the Locate Object spell, and you get a. How does the spell work? Just so I don't give you too much or too little information.
It's
Here we go.
behind you.
Describe the or name an object that's familiar to you. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as that object is in 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or a weapon. This spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks the direct path between you and the object.
Okay. So do you know the exact location or just...
I know the direction.
The direction. Okay. It's in the direction of Grimhook, Ellie, and Varen.
So, okay. They're all... That's kind of what I thought. Now, since the pot is sort of to the side of them, is it in their direction or its direction?
Their direction.
Okay. Gemini will get up, go grab the shovel, and keep digging.
The stone with markings, what kind of language are the markings in? Or is it just markings?
It's arcane marking, so there's no actual language on it. It's just... It seems to be that you would think that there's some kind of spell on this stone, and the markings keep it in place. So Gemini, as you kind of walk over there, I don't know what Varen did with the shovel, but I'm assuming it's either sticking in the ground or somewhere. Yeah. So you kind of grab the shovel, and well, there are at least two. Are you also still there, Varen, looking at the stone, or?
Probably be standing behind Ellie and.
Okay, so there are two people kind of near this relatively small hole, and Varen is just standing one step away from it. So you either have to maneuver yourself between them or kind of move one of them to properly be able to dig.
Okay, I'll just walk up, grab the shovel, and I'll pat Varen on the shoulder and just say, "Pardon me," and try to scoot my way past.
Gives him a weird look. What?
I just wanna, like, I'm trying to juggle a stone on a cat and like, Gemini, wait.
Yes.
I just stand like with stuff in my hands, and it might be dangerous.
Yes.
Is
Most
the
things
stone...
are.
No, it's not a gunker. It's
It might be.
I
Is the
don't
stone
think,
like free?
but it's
No.
it's a stone in.
Yeah, like, is the
it's
stone
in the
buried,
hole,
or is
but
it
there's
can you
still
lift it out?
there's still quite a bit of dirt around
Yeah.
it. You just pretty much cleared off what you would think is the
Okay.
top of it.
It's some kind of restriction on it. I think it holds something in place, like a barrier or something. It's restricting something, like keeping it contained.
And it was under the pot then.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if it's just
So-
keeping something contained within it, or under it, or around it, or if it's keeping something stronger restrained. But it's some kind of restraining thing.
If that is true, Ellie, it could be restraining anything, like any forms of magic or whatever.
Well, yes.
Seeing as how it was under the pot, it then follows that maybe it was restricting whatever the boiling cauldron over there has inside of it.
Does that mean we
maybe
should
some
worry
kind
about
of-
the cauldron? I will turn around and look at the cauldron.
Oh yeah, don't look in the cauldron. There's
I will look at it, not in it.
stuff in there.
Wait, what? Why not look into the cauldron?
There's a big eyeball that looked at me. I wouldn't go near it.
Oh,
And
was that
this
the thing you
information
wanted to
just now
dig
is-
into?
Yes, I just thought it was a weird witchery thing. It
Because-
didn't seem to do anything to me, so
Well, it was
was
pulling you
fine.
closer. Like
Yes,
you were
I
really
did
leaning
stare at
into
it.
it. No, like you were leaning into
That's
it,
why I
coming
said don't
closer.
look at it.
Oh dear God. Okay. So this eyeball was pulling you closer
Yes.
via magics, and there's a stone here that restricts power of some kind,
Yes.
and it was under the cauldron that, up until we took off of the stone, did not do that to any of us.
None of us looked in it.
Yeah, we
That's
didn't
a fair
look at
point.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
This is concerning.
Well, that's one easy way to find out. I mean, Grimhook maybe could take a look in it.
Yes, I second this, Grimhook.
I'm gonna shrug and be like, fine.
I'll get back to digging.
Yeah, they'll let Gemini dig, and they'll go over and carefully have a look at the pot and see if he can identify what's inside of it.
Mhm.
Don't have any utility that'll help, so just yeah.
So you kind of walk up towards the pot and you just look at it, and you again see almost like the goo and the muck in it kind of splits open, and there's this eyelid just looking at you. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Do we notice his react? Oh, well, I'm digging.
I will keep an eye on him
Mm,
because what
I-
happened to Varin.
Yeah.
That is 18.
18. You see it, and there is this sudden pull towards it. Ooh.
See, I told you.
Oh, did it happen again?
Yes, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
What did it feel like?
Gemini, you have more or less kind of digged around the surrounding. It's the stone is about this wide and kind of this long, and you feel that it's kind of round on the edges, and you've cleared it from the sides now as well. What do you want to do with it?
I would like to. Can Baron, can you help me?
Yes.
I would like to get this stone out and place it directly underneath that cauldron, just in case anything odd were to come from it.
Oh, okay.
But the cauldron was really heavy. How are you gonna do it?
With the muscles of our two friends here, the strong boys with the axes.
Right. Vern will take a look at the stone. Does it
Mhm.
look relatively big that he could maybe lift it?
You could probably lift it. It won't be light, but you'll be able to manage. Yeah, it's not as massive as the cauldron is, but you could probably carry it over. Yeah.
Can what way does help work? So I assisted Ellie with the check on the thing. Like, would it be reasonable to assume that Grimhook would be like, "Fuck it, let me actually have a proper look at this," and go back and look at it again to see if there's anything.
Look at what?
On the stone. On the stone. Sorry.
Oh, why would you want to look at it?
To see if we can figure out anything more about the runes and stuff, and
Maybe
see if
like
we can work out.
if there's a direction
Well, no,
on it?
you already assist Ellie with her role, so you kind of both came to the conclusion that I gave to Ellie. So that's how assistance kind of works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But I was just wondering, seeing that it's more uncovered now. Is there any way that that already looked at it? Can we distinguish what kind of direction the spell is aimed at?
No.
Okay.
Gemini, before I lift the stone,
Yes.
can you read this? They said it was something about restriction. You know a bit about magic, don't you?
Oh, well, I can go ahead and give it a shot. Let's stare at it, the stone, look over the glyphs. Arcana check?
Yeah.
All right. Ha ha! I know nothing.
Oh, dear.
What did you roll?
You're not even sure if it's Arcana that's written
No,
on here.
I got a 5.
It's just floppy.
It looks like someone went crazy with a chisel.
Yes, to be magical.
Whoever wrote this, it's sloppy work. Yeah. Bad penmanship.
I'm used to much better penmanship and craftsmanship than this.
So, what can you tell me about it?
It's a stone.
Oh, okay.
With markings on it. That's the extent of your knowledge.
Yes.
Okay,
Go back to
right. There seems to be nothing wrong with it then. We'll just lift it.
All right. You grab it. Roll your strength. Or athletics is
Athletics?
Yeah.
Jeez, we get it, you vape.
Yeah, right.
That's a 16.
16. So you you lift up the stone, and it's heavy, but not unhandleable. Not that you can't handle it. So you have it in your arms, or you're holding it.
Well, I think Gemini said to put it under the cauldron, so I place it near the cauldron and then see if I can.
All right. Gemini, Varen, and I'm assuming Ellie. Where are you at this point? You were looking at Grimhook while he's
probably pretty close to the whole thing still.
Okay, so where are you, Grimhook, at this point?
I'm closer to the hole than the cauldron.
Where are you, Grimhook?
Probably still fairly close to the cauldron.
Okay, so
closer to
Gemini, Varen, and Ellie roll perception.
Varen.
15.
7.
A mangy, filthy 24.
Okay. As Varen lifts the stone and kind of starts to move it towards the cauldron, you, Gemini, notice something immediately. Elliot takes you a couple of seconds after that to be like, hey, what's that? Where you are, hey, what's that? You, Gemini, are like, it's the fucking thing I cast a spell for. There is a pipe lying underneath the stone, and you know that pipe anywhere.
Is it just the pipe, or is the hat there and all the other stuff too?
It's just the pipe.
I will reach down, grab the pipe, pocket it.
Okay. You
and then just keep digging
recognize
around
it as well, Ellie, as he kind of picks it up.
Is it resting there? No, like look over there.
All right, cool. So what I was left in was kind of like a lid then?
Sorry?
It was like a lid?
No, it was just, it was lying on top of it, and the pipe was just mushed into the ground.
Oh, strange.
Okay. And as I just kind of dig, gently around, moving dirt and stuff, there's nothing else down there.
No, at least nothing that you're finding at this point. You, Varen, kind of move the stone and kind of shove it underneath the cauldron.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least we know one thing. It's not restricting any spells that we can know of. Must be for the cauldron.
Yes.
But why would
Hence it's being directly into...
Grimhook will sort of go back around towards it, see Gemini digging, be like, anything underneath?
Yes, but nothing of concern.
But why would they leave it down there? I mean, is it magical? I will look at Gemini and be talking about the pipe. Like,
Oh, as far as I'm aware, no. It's just, it was Vince's.
Yeah, I know that, but why would it be placed under that type of stone?
Why
It
does
seems
the
like a
hag
lot of
have...
effort.
Was it stopping people from finding it? Is that why it was placed under the stone?
I don't know.
Grimhook went out here with the intention of killing the hag. Would he know anything about it potentially capturing prisoners? That anything in their nature of that effect?
You mean if the hag would take prisoners?
Yeah.
Roll your history.
That is straight 14.
14. They are known to abduct people, but then they don't really keep long-term prisoners. They probably mostly just harvest them for parts for spells and stuff.
Do humans have properties for spells?
No,
it's always dragons and stuff. You know?
I mean, I don't know how it works in D&D, but in other like magical places, if you, for example, if you skin a wizard, you can bleed out his power and gain the power from him.
There you go.
Interesting.
Don't know if it works in D&D, but I know it does in other magical universes.
Can Grimhook take another look at the slab and to see whether it's holding a person?
What do you want to do?
Just
like, see if there's any creases or a latch or anything?
Yeah, like to see if it's, I don't know, capable of containing something.
How would you obtain that information?
Look at it, poke it, touch it.
Okay. You
Taste it?
Well, we'll see how poking and touching goes first.
You look at it. It looks like a stone with markings on it. What do you use to poke it with?
I might regret this. His hand.
Are you wearing gloves?
Fingerless.
Fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
Right. You
go ahead and need you to roll a new character.
Yeah.
It changes place with Vince.
give me a Constitution saving.
Constitution. Oh, he's a dwarf. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He has Constitution.
Oh, I forgot about saving throws. I actually had +8 wisdom. I didn't use it last time.
Well,
for next time. That's 16 4. That's a dirty 20.
All right. You touch it. You guys see Grimhook touching the stone. And there's a flash. You see Grimhook collapse.
What?
Can I quickly check him to see if he's still alive?
Throw your medicine.
Gemini throws down the shovel.
Can I kind
runs
of
over to
send my
Grimhook.
stuff fluffles into my coat?
That's not great.
To protect him?
4d6, yeah.
That's only 5.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. You know?
I'll quickly. Oh, yeah, we see. I'll quickly help him with 5 points of lay on hands. Yeah.
His pulse is fine.
He's got no pulse.
You lay on. You do lay on hands.
I'll quickly have my 5 points of lay on hands.
His hair's not
Alright.
moving.
There's no difference.
Oh, wait, hold on. 5 points. Does that actually go into my HP? Because I am low a bit.
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Gemini will throw down the shovel, just stomp over towards Grimhook, grab him, and be like, "You owe us money!" and smack him. Wake up!
Am I conscious? Can I react to this?
No.
Someone's due a headbutt.
I think he's dead.
Yes.
Give it-
Yes, I think he's dead.
We
Quick, loot the
We should
body.
loot the body. Yeah.
we should divvy up his belongings and hold a funeral.
One final thing though, before we assume that he's dead. Can I lift his hand and poke the stone with it again?
You
I
touch
really
the
hope it's
stone
like
again.
electricity and it zaps you.
Grimhook, roll a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh shit!
A 20 didn't help. A 20. I'll be at a dirty 20, but still.
Oh shit!
You didn't say you were dead either. You just said collapse.
8.
8. You see another flash, not as prominent as the one before, but it's definitely there. And the three of you kind of, there's a funky smell in the air, and you,
See,
what
shit
is that?
himself.
And you can see that there's suddenly you see that Grimhook's beard is singed.
You bastards.
Okay.
At least it wasn't me this time.
Someone's getting some divine fury.
I think it might be best to take him outside, away from the stone.
Fucking you think?
I'll give him a
think
once
so.
over once I get outside and I can see better.
I think if we strip him down and lay him on the stone, maybe the
It will
conduit
solve
of
it.
town will restore him. It's not touching him enough is the problem.
Gemini.
You could also
Gemini.
have him drink the
No.
liquid from the cauldron. It's just
Dump him in.
Oh yeah, dump him in the cauldron.
Yeah, that's
Obviously.
it.
Oh, why
That's
didn't we?
Yeah.
Can I find something metally or woody or something that's basically not my skin?
wood definitely. There's plenty
Yeah.
of firewood stacked to feed the fire.
Is there any metal tool for potion making or stirring in the cauldron when it's really hot, or if it?
Yeah, you see a big ladle or spoon hanging, and there's
Yeah.
also probably some rusty knives. So yeah.
Okay, I will pick up wood first because wood usually conduct less shit. I think I would know this, and I will walk over to the stone. First of all, I want to check the markings. Are they still the same, or do they look different?
Throw your Arcana.
8.
8.
Ooh, shiny.
Oh, they look the same.
What are you looking for there, Ellie? What's this?
Well,
What
things
are we doing?
happened, and there was flashes, and well, we don't know what's happened. Sometimes, like magical things, when they activate, it changes.
Oh yes.
And I was wondering if it's like if the stone itself is magical in nature, or if it's just the marking. Because if it's just the markings, maybe they won't change. But if it was the stone itself and magic altars, maybe could have told me something new.
I see.
I have a theory. I don't know exactly what it's doing, but I'm guessing from his singed beard and the fact that it's under a cauldron, it's probably like a heating tool. Now, I don't know what it's done to Grimhook, but I'm going to check to see if he's still alive. And I start dragging him outside.
Where it's a heating tool, why then would they need the fire beneath the cauldron?
Yeah, I don't think it does. And why would Grimhook collapse from it? I mean...
Magical hot plate. Oh, do you know what? It was still connected to the mains. That's why it's badly isolated.
I will poke it with my stick.
Gunk, gunk.
It's a gunker!
The gunk has returned, everybody run!
You were right about it being
Dead,
dangerous.
save yourselves!
Nothing happens as you poke it with wood. Sorry.
You got a dirty mind. I can see it on your face. Okay, I will take something out of metal and poke it with that as well.
Dink, dink.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
I think we can start a band.
I just
The
wanna
dunkers.
take the metal tool, and I'll probably grab a knife, brush a knife, and I will be coming a little bit like closer, and I will look at one of the markings and try to scratch the marking.
Roll your perception.
What is if it is a die? I need to dice yell it. 9.
9. You start to. No. Seems to do nothing.
Doesn't even make a mark?
A little bit, but nothing particular.
I'm gonna rub a little bit harder.
I'm guessing I've got Grimhook outside.
Yeah,
I've
you
got a bit
drag
more
him
light.
outside, and he feels a bit hot to the touch.
Mhm.
Like there's a heat radiating from him.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now they can see better. I'll maybe see if I can give him a better once over and actually like start. He's hot to the touch, so maybe check under his armor and stuff to see if he's got burns or anything.
Mm-hmm. You start to kind of at certain points undo his armor.
Well, yeah, just check underneath, like neck periods, stuff like that.
Well, there was kind of more light inside than there is here, because there was a light spell and the flame.
Well, that light
Actually-
spell would have disappeared
Yeah.
because he's
it depends
unconscious.
if it's a concentration spell or not.
I think it. No,
It's probably not a concentration spell. It probably lasts for a certain amount.
Yeah, 1 hour.
There you go.
Mark.
Yeah.
But we're still using his spell because I'm guessing he cast it on himself.
He probably cast it somewhere in the area.
Yeah, it was just a ball over his shoulder.
Alright. What do I have?
Did it get brighter as he got shocked?
No.
I don't know. Let me see. I'll probably light up a torch and sort of set it down,
Mhm.
just so I could see better. But check like airways and stuff to make sure he will.
All right, roll your medicine again.
Probably
You're
not
on
gonna be
fire
great.
with the ideas. It's a magical hot plate. I'll take him outside where I can get more light. Shit, it's night.
It's not great either. That's a 7. You picked the character that's not great at medicine, so.
Yeah. So no, he seems. You can feel as you kind of examine him a bit that there is an unnatural heat coming from his body.
Mm-hmm.
And not like, oh, you have a fever, but really almost to a point where his skin is uncomfortable to touch, but just not there.
Right.
Anything out there, Vern? Any sign of life?
I can't get anything from this. I wasn't really a medicinal doctor or medic or anything like that. I can't tell what's going on.
You had a cleric.
I'll try one other thing that I can do, which is I can hit him with lay on hands, but I'm going to try and cure disease, and then I'm going to hit him again, and then see if I can neutralize the poison. If that does nothing, then I know it's not poison or not a disease.
Have you tried unplugging him and plugging him back in?
What's a plug?
What's the plug?
oh, I know. It's one of wooden things you use in construction to make like hold two pieces of wood together so it doesn't fall apart.
Yeah,
Yes,
shove
like
one
a
of those at
potion
him.
stopper. Yes, yes.
If Grimhooks wakes up and he has a plug inserted somewhere in his body, he would die.
So where do jobs usually put their plugs?
In other people.
In their nose.
Yes.
Great. You are suddenly in a different place.
Okay.
You are standing in a desert, and there's fire all around you. And you kind of extend your hand to this fire, and it moves. And you pull your hand back, and it comes towards you. And you wave your hand, and it moves. It's like you're a conductor, and the flames are dancing for you. You move around, and they dance. You raise your hands, and the fire lights up all around you. And everything burns. Sand burns. And the longer you look at it, the sky starts to burn. And you look up, and in the distance, you see the sun. And there's this moment.
Oh, really? Why is this freeze? Okay, we are back into the stream. We had a problem with our Discord because we used Discord, and somehow the call got fucked up for at least me and everybody else in conjunction. So we had to restart it. But we are back, and I will hand it back to Roger, and he can probably take off where we probably left off around a sun in the sky in this other fairy place.
We're not 100% sure where the stream actually cut off. So, as I was saying, you're standing there and you're moving your hands, and the flames seem to react. And you raise your hands, and the flames just soar up high, and everything is burning. The sand, and you can see the sky is actually burning. And as you look up, you see the sun. And you look up at it and you think, could I? Should I? And your hand just races towards it, and you grab it and you pluck the sun, and you're holding it in your hand, and you can feel its power, its energy just going into your body deeper and deeper. And you feel that you're actually absorbing this raw energy. As you do, you feel the power going through you, and suddenly, darkness. Not blueness, darkness.
It's brighter.
You have your eyes open up, and you have a hard time breathing. There is little to no air. Roll a strength check.
That is 15.
15. What is your modifier?
Modifier is +4.
+4. Okay. So you feel there's something on you and covering you, and you just oxygen is minimal, if at all, but there's some still left in your lungs. If you just dig and grab, roll a Constitution.
Famous Constitution.
Constitution, that's 14.
14. Your lungs are burning.
He's not having a good day.
Fire needs oxygen, and there's no oxygen here. As you dig until you can dig no longer, you see this little bit of light coming through the darkness. And suddenly, even if it's just a little breath, oxygen is reaching you. You try to inhale it, but there's dirt, rubble coming in. Gemini
is giving him mouth to mouth. No.
With dirt and rubble in there.
Just shoving dirt and rubble.
These dwarves like rocks, don't they?
Gemini and Ellie, where are you guys?
I'm still digging at the pit.
I am next to the cauldron and the stone, and I'm poking it with various things and scratching the surface and stuff.
Okay. Gemini, roll your perception.
Yes. Yeah. All right, here we go. That went into a bag. Can you please come out of the bag? Let me move that. There we go. 19.
19.
Yep.
You are still digging around, and as your shovel goes in, you pull it back out. There's blood on it.
Ow.
As you kind of not stick it in so deeply, you kind of scrape it off. You see a face underneath.
Hello.
It seems unconscious. Dirt is in its mouth, in its nose, in its ears.
Do I notice Gemini stopping digging or digging differently?
I didn't
Well, you
stop.
hear him say, hello.
Oh, I will look over, like, walk over to the thing and, like, what are you saying hello at?
Yeah. Do I recognize the face?
No, it's covered in dirt, and it has a large gash on the side of his face.
I'll snap Mage Hand. Come hither. There's a person. I've dug up a person. Start using Mage Hand to wipe his face down.
Can I use prestidigitation?
Prestidigitation.
Yes, exactly, that one. Prestigation. And like clean off the face? Mouth and nose for dirt?
Yeah, a little bit. There's
Focusing
too
on
much.
Mouth and nose and not really trying to dig clear off the rest, but like that specifically.
There's too much actual soil and dirt on it to actually for your prestidigitation to actually kind of like clean it up. It doesn't just make dirt or soil disappear. You do see that the things that have smudges on them and stuff where the earth has fallen off, they the dirt on them or the mud and stuff disappear. You'll probably have to use your hands to kind of make, especially the mouth and probably the nose as well, clear.
Nah, Mage Hand gets all up in there.
Okay. Okay.
I will take the ladle and help like dig out the part and the rest of the face and stuff.
All right. Brains.
I was gonna say, never mind me. I'm just fucking dying somewhere. It's all right.
You feel a as you guys see ground and dirt being coughed up. And as your eyes open, you see two familiar faces looking down upon you.
Doves.
Ladle.
That's going to be a thing from now on, just so you know.
The sacrifice.
Doves, ladle.
Wait, give me 2 seconds.
One
been like
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi.
As you're examining Grimhook's body, you kind of look at it and suddenly you feel that the extensive heat that's coming from him fades away.
I'm back.
Hi.
You are muted, sir.
Yes. I was gonna say, is he getting colder than normal body temperature?
Yeah, and rapidly as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going to dump those points into him to see if it's a disease or a poison.
Take my points! As you kind of use your magical hand to...
Does he shout that?
That would be great.
As you kind of...
If they're doing something to his body out there, don't look. It's fine.
As you will your
heal
divine
you.
health into his body.
It's an
You see
interesting.
a crack starting to appear. Another crack. And another crack. You kind of pull away your hand like, I'm not doing this, right? As you kind of hear coughing coming from inside the skull.
Is everything all right, Gemini?
No!
Nope, I'm staying. I don't know. I'm gonna see, like, I'm gonna touch him again to see if he starts cracking, or...
As your hand kind of goes towards him, and your focus kind of refocuses on him, you see more cracks have already appeared.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Is there any way I can maybe figure out what this is?
How would you want to do this?
Full medicine isn't working, so we try maybe religion or history, or I don't know.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I steal his cracks, yeah.
Have I ever came across this before in my lifetime,
Roll your
or...
history.
Nope. Nope.
Nope. You've never come across this before.
Nope, I have never come across this. I suppose I may go into the skull and tell them there's something weird going on with his body, and Gemini, something really weird is happening to Grimhook. He's cracking up.
Okay,
and not in a good way.
We have Dirtface over here. He's been buried. I don't know what's happening. There's a gash in his cheek. No one knows how it got there. I'll go check on Grimhook. You look after this. Bye.
Who?
We found the body.
I'll take a. Yeah, I'll take a look, see what's going on here, because weird shit's going on all over the place.
Yes. I've only got one more backup character made. Just saying.
I will continue using my ladle and dig him out.
Well, Varen will see the body and start jumping in and start trying to remove dirt more casually with his hands and see if I can get this body out of there.
I mean, it's kind of hard juggling both a cat and a ladle at the same time, so I'm
both
making
you
do.
and Ellie roll your perception.
Okay.
Fuck, I need another hand.
Nope. Too much is going on right now.
Perception overload.
15.
Yeah.
15.
It's only a 7.
15. Ellie, as you were kind of digging this person out, you recognize this person. It's Vince.
What?
Mm-hmm. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yay.
Wait, was he
let me check
coughing?
out.
Yeah.
Oh, he was? Okay. Yay!
While she's doing that, I'll check on Grimhook. And what do I see when I go out there?
You see a pile of ash.
Fucking Thanos.
Baron, what did you do? We were supposed to get paid first. Are his items there?
Yeah, they are.
I'll just start taking everything.
Clothing and armor and stuff, but there's ash lying there, and it's just
okay. And the bag he
away.
found, and the money and all that stuff's there.
Yep.
Okay, start shoving everything in the bag. just shove everything I can
Wow.
fit in that bag.
So,
Wow,
most
fuck you.
important question: is Vince alive?
Yeah.
Well, do you just notice this, or are you shouting out, "Is that Vince?"
No, you see him like, and you don't notice. For you, the face is still too messed up and too covered up to actually. But Ellie is kind of with her ladle quite close to the face, digging on the side. Like, wait, I know that nose. Yeah.
No, I'm being more careful, especially when I recognize it's being Vince. I'm kind of digging more frantically, as well as I can with a cat, kind of not letting him go. And we go like, Vince! It's Vince!
It's
And
who?
all-
What?
It's Vince!
It's bloody Vince!
Do I hear that from outside?
Yeah, of course you do.
I'll shove all the ash in the bag too, as much as I can, and then I'll run back inside, and I'll be like, "I've managed to save Grimhook." He's apparently burnt to ashes. Baron, whatever you did, you're a sick son of a bitch. Vince, where is Vince?
Oh,
Right here! And you can see dirt flying out from the ladle being like super tossed everywhere.
I'm gonna see if I can lift him up and out and on the ground, basically.
There is going to be a lot more digging before you can actually lift him up and out.
Frantic digging then.
Yeah, so see.
You pretty much see only this part of his head, like the upper part. So all of his body is underground and yeah.
Actually, while they're doing that, I'm gonna go. Hold on a moment.
Fingers though, he's apparently has been trying to dig himself out, but.
I'm gonna head outside. Be like, "Oh, hold on one moment. I believe Grimhook's dead, but let me check and see if I missed anything." And I'm gonna go out there and scoop as much ash as I can. But I'm also gonna take the ring that he had, the one I gave him, and chuck it into the forest.
Good call.
I wanted that ring.
And then head back in.
All right. Let me think for a moment.
I have a question. Well, actually, maybe not.
Yeah, you'll be able to check it in. Yeah.
No, I'm not using that. Maybe.
So yeah.
Oh, hi. Pause. Ow. No biting.
She says to Vince as he awakens.
Sorry.
No biting. Yeah, that's it. He's like, you killed me.
Okay, go. No, wait.
Can Vince talk? Is a good question.
Slowly but surely, yeah.
Can I maybe give him some water to sort of clear out his mouth? Can I give him some sort of water to clear out his mouth and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can.
While he's there, he's just like, fucking gonkers, man.
But yeah, I will keep digging Vince out, and as soon as his head is clear, I will go on to the body, of course.
Okay.
I might be sitting on him, digging him out, but that doesn't matter, right?
You hope it doesn't. Oh, she's crushing you. Ah. Who knew a gnome could be this heavy?
I'm trying to not be on that.
You notice a small mound of dirt just raises up a wee bit.
What?
Anyone in the audience, ask your parents about that.
Or a friend.
Or for not a close one.
Or a trusted, knowledgeable person.
So is Vince actually standing upright in the dirt?
No. He's lying.
So, lying down.
Yeah. Well, he's not lying, but he's Horizontal.
Horizontal. Right. Well, I'll guess we'll keep focusing on that until he's out.
Yeah, I'll walk in with Grimhook's bag of goodies and bag of Grimhook, and I'll just sling it over my shoulder like the most fashionable purse, and I'll jump down and start scooping stuff away to you. Vince,
All right.
Can you hear us? Can you speak? Are you okay?
Yes, maybe.
Good enough. Right.
How much does Vince remember? Like, what's the last thing he remembers?
The last thing you remember is Ellie charging at you and slicing you up.
Like that.
Yep. Fair enough. You'll sort of look at Ellie and be like, "We need to talk."
Right.
What the fuck?
First, we should...
I was gonna say, as soon as we get Vince out of the dirt, I'm gonna hug him and say, "You're okay."
Can I move at this point?
She said when you were out, so...
Or
Yeah,
when
whenever you
his
jump-
upper body is at least out enough to be hugged.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, whenever you come forward, he's just like,
Huh. So, what happened between you two?
You fucking tried to kill me. Very nearly succeeded. Some might say she did.
Allie, did you try to kill Vince?
I take it on. I don't know. Is he wearing his robes or is he?
No, you are stark naked.
Yeah. I was gonna say I would assume he still has quite substantial gashes from her claws.
No, your wounds are more or less gone. There are some scarring, but they're not gaping wounds.
Yeah.
However, at this point, you have 1 hit point.
Oh yeah, I can bring him back. I don't.
Do you so okay, first, what was with that reaction, and why did you try to kill? There are many questions. Do you need healing? Are you okay? Are you sick? Are you in pain?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how dirt rituals work. I will let's see here. I'll use my last first level spell slot for Healing Word. And that will be what you get.
Get well soon. Healing Word. It's amazing.
That's not the best. So 4. You get 4 big hit points.
Massive.
Up to 5.
So, okay, so Ellie, you tried to kill Vince. Then that's what happened.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw all that fire at you. Disclaimer: I'm pretty sure it was fire or magic missiles that she used on the things she thought was Vince.
Yes.
So yeah, I didn't mean to throw all that fire at you.
Fire. I can do.
You killed Fluffles.
I am all
killed the
about
thing
fire.
I thought Fluffles.
You mean it wasn't Fluffles?
This is Fluffles. Don't you hurt him.
It's
Yeah,
alive.
so
He starts twitching like, fucking what?
Also, Vince notices Ellie has no hair.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think it'd be too fussed.
No,
Well,
but
okay, so there was a hag, and she was making herself out to be others. She crucified you on a tree, and you had no skin. And we had a funeral pyre for you, which was beautiful. A dwarf named Grimhook was there. He's not with us anymore. And
You've killed another one already?
well, from what I understand, Varen may have indeed killed him. Yes.
What?
But I went out there and he was ashes. This is your fault. So I don't.
Yes, that's how it works.
I don't know what happened to you or why you're back. Are you a hag? Are you a hag? Are you tricking us with magics again?
I'll pick up the ladle and like stand there and threaten to like hit him.
Because the last people I asked if they were hags, they were hags.
That's good. Yes, I'm a hag.
What school did you go to magic for?
You don't know that?
Do you?
Yes.
Well, what is it?
The slightly hidden university.
Wait. Okay. So here we go.
Where did you meet us?
There. That. Okay.
In the. Where did I meet you? It was on the road to. Oh, what was the name of the town? What's the name of the town?
Meridian City.
No.
Ellsbrook?
Ellsbrook. Yes, on the way to Ellsbrook, I believe. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
That sounds right. What did we fight? Our first fight as a group here. What was it against?
A house, and we won.
It's Vince. This is Vince. Yes, this is Vince. So, fine then. Let's get you out. I can see you're naked. Not a problem for me. Might be a problem for you. So, I have acquired for you some dwarven armor.
Okay, just, I know it's probably not related, but you did say a dwarf was traveling with you?
Oh, yes. He's Ash now.
Okay. Cool.
Well.
Wait, how did he turn to Ash?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I went out there and he was.
We don't know yet. He seemed to be cracking up when I was trying to heal him.
It's
You see
that
that
stone!
box-
I will poke at the
Yes.
my little
Yes,
stone.
yes.
Nobody touched that. Particularly you, Vince. You're very low on the life scale right now. Do not touch that, because that is what killed the dwarf that was.
I will move the
As you
ladle
kind
back.
of point at the stone, there seems to have been a crack appearing in it.
Vince will get up and dust himself down. Not bothered that he's naked, and he'll dander over and look at the stone. And, yeah, just generally have a nosy at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like a stone. You see very faint markings on it, but there is a very prominent crack, and the stone is broken into two.
Does he know what the engravings or inscriptions? Can he make out any of that or understand it?
If only there was a roll I could have you make to kind of.
If only. If
yes.
only. It's okay because he is alive and. Well,
Why
now
don't
he's
you
alive.
roll an Arcana?
Cool. He's good at that. It's almost like he's a wizard.
Is his name Harry?
A filthy 23.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, you are apparently quite familiar with this type of spell. It's a prison spell of soul.
Okay. Would I know why touching it would ash you?
Would you know why touching it ashes you? Yes. With a roll that high, you probably do. It has to do with the fact that there's a protective aura around it to keep the soul in, and if it is touched by bare skin, there is a massive shock that allows the soul to exit the item. But that shock usually kills whoever touches it, unless proper protection and stuff is put in place.
So Finn sort of scratches his head and goes, "Yeah, he's dead."
Who? Grimhook?
Yeah. I think I was
you
stuck
know-
in this, and him touching it freed me, but zapped him in the process.
Oh no! So if we were to,
He was really mean.
yes,
He was a dwarf of
He was
Kellenvor.
a-
Of course, he was mean.
if we were to break the stone, would it release his soul and the souls of others, or?
Sort of gestures to the crack on it. It's already broken. I think anyone who was trapped in there is now free.
So he's just dead. He's just gone then.
I think so.
Okay. So what's your percentage, 1 to 100, of whether or not he will return to reclaim his things?
Are you taking his things?
No, we are taking his things.
That depends. What's he got?
No.
Oh, he's got some gold. He's got a comb, a bag, some axes, some armor. I don't have his character sheet.
Baron and Ellie, you will both be very aware that he also had a particular ring.
And
Yes.
You know what?
He also had that cursed ring.
That he did. Let's dump out the bag and just sift through everything in it. Nobody take anything just yet, though. I want to take inventory so that if he does return, we can at least give him the belongings back that we don't need. So let's, I just don't want to deal with it. So bag, dump.
Vince, as you see all these belongings kind of spill out on the ground, and you kind of stand there and kind of look down as they kind of land on your feet, and yeah, you knew you were naked, but looking down at yourself, you kind of realize like, yeah, I really am naked. And you kind of look around and you see all these belongings lying there, and you're thinking like, where are my belongings?
More importantly, where the fuck's my hat?
More importantly, where the fuck is your spellbook?
Shit. Yes.
So
That's
these are...
besides your hat is your...
Can my hat be my
primary
spellbook? Do I not have the spells in the brim?
So these are Grimhook's things. Also, Vince, I reclaimed something for you. I pull out the corncob pipe and I say, "Here you go."
So he takes it. Cheers. Cheers. And cantrips don't need the spellbook. Is that still right? Cool. That's all right. Then he takes it and sort of looks to see whether there's any tobacco dregs left in there.
No, just dirt in it.
Sort of bats it out and goes to pocket it and drops it. He's like, oh, yeah, the pockets.
Okay, I'm actually going to look at Grimhook's character sheet, if that's okay, just to see what we all have.
I
can
will
drop that out for you if you want.
go through the things and pick up like the cloak or something and say, it might be a bit short, but you look cold.
Yeah. All right. Vince takes it, like ties it as tries to tie it like a loincloth type thing.
Like a towel around you.
Yeah.
So
on the side, and Vince is going to start sifting through any of the other belongings, like any piles of stuff that you can see, to try and see if you can find any of his stuff.
You mean in the skull?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Vern's just going to take a step outside. We're just going to see a scene of him just walking out and going, "I'm lucky I didn't learn magic. That shit's crazy." Just sits down next to the skull or something.
I wanna take a look at the pot as well. Has it changed that thing?
You walk towards the pot and you kind of...
I'm leaning from really far away, and I have a ladle in front of me, so I can be like, no, I can't see it.
Well, At your height, the pot is around about this high. So if you lean far away from it,
Okay,
you
I
won't
will
really be
do-
able to see.
I'm more like, okay, standing on my toes,
You
look
walk.
over.
You walk close to it. Roll your perception.
Seriously, I need to dice this yell. 10.
10. That's weird. There was a strange smell when you got closer to it. You no longer smell it.
I will curiously and cautiously stand on my toes and look into it, the ladle ready to strike.
It's empty.
Huh?
Gemini's just counting out the money. So we each get 60 gold apiece. Okay, put it in little piles while she's doing that.
Can I look around and, more importantly, look around the cauldron to see if I see any traces or like tracks or something?
Roll an investigation.
What is with what dice? Natural 1. I'm
Natural
gonna take back
1.
the other die. It's nicer.
No, it just appears to be gone.
Okay, then I'll go, guys. The
Hold on one
gooey-
moment.
No, the eye is gone.
The cauldron eye.
It's all gone.
Oh.
You will hear this as well, Farron, by the way.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
That is upsetting. 259, 260. Okay, so he's gonna walk over to Ellie. Here's 60 gold. Vince, I don't know how you'll keep this. Do you want me to put it in the bag for you? You can carry the bag.
He just sort of waves acknowledgingly while sifting through all the stuff. So, yeah, whatever.
Baron, there's 60 gold here for you.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
Sure. Whatever. He sort of gets up,
Gets 100 gold.
begrudgingly back in again. He's like, I do not condone this, but sure.
Here you go.
Varian.
Yes.
What if he's lurking out there? What if he's gonna attack us?
What attack us?
The stuff in the cauldron.
An eyeball?
The whole thing is gone.
I don't know what to tell you. Magic's not my strong suit. Vince, do you want to take this one? And walks it again.
In a minute.
Start putting everything back in the bag. And then,
Fluffles, do you see
over.
something?
Dude, there's...
Vince, you will have been trying to scour together some belongings, but you see none of your belongings here whatsoever. There are some rags which are used for bedding, so you could wrap them around you, but they're disgusting. Other than that, there's a rusty knife, but that's mostly used for just cutting things open and preparing stuff. That's pretty much all you find.
He'll turn around to Gemini and be like, "Oi, where did you find my pipe?"
It was a top, well, interesting thing that it was beneath that rock there underground, and it was atop your body, but your body wasn't there at first. It was only there after the ash thing happened. What are you looking for exactly? Maybe I can help.
Yeah, my staff, my hat, and my spellbook.
Okay,
Ideally,
let's choose
my
one
robes
thing.
as well. Can we not do all of them?
No, I have not had what some may refer to as a long rest. We can do one.
Okay. I would say the most useful thing would be my spellbook.
Okay. Then Gemini's going to shove everything into the bag, give it to Vince, be like, there you go. You know, your money's in there. There are some symbol of clothing, weaponry. And
Does
I will...
the bag have a strap?
Yeah,
to,
it's a bag of
you know,
holding.
Sling it around your shoulder. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah.
And then I will use my last spell slot to cast Locate Object on his spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
You
gonna go
focus yourself
like that. That's how he does it.
Okay. And there's this awareness shooting out of you in all directions.
Like that cat meme?
Yeah, more or less. But you do not pick up any spellbook.
Well, it is not within 1,000 feet of us. That I can be relatively sure. I'm sorry. Would you like some tea? I have tea.
No, I'm good. I'm going to try and find a jacket.
Oh, yes. Go ahead and secure mine even more.
Would Grimhook's coat that's in the bag, like his long coat,
No,
could
I
it,
gave it
could
to
it
you.
even
like a
stretch
horse?
to be, could he fit an arm in it? No.
Nope.
All right, we're sticking with the loincloth. Okay. Are there any sticks in the?
You mean long
Dragon
sticks,
cave.
like staff?
Yeah, something long that you can
things?
just to have sort of something that you can.
There are sticks in there. You would not be able to, or it would not be wise to classify them as staves. For you think if you would strike someone with it, the wood would break and not whoever you hit with it. So, but
No, it's just
a bit
sort
like
of,
it.
Yeah, he just wants something.
Grimhook
hand.
does have a blanket.
Do you want the ladle?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, thanks.
Critical
Is
hit
the blanket
ladle.
in the?
Yeah, it's in the bag.
Let's see. Yeah, what he'll do is he'll take the blanket out and using that rusty knife that you said about earlier, and cut a hole in it and make like a poncho type thing, just to drape over. And yeah, he'll do that.
All right. You'll be able to do it, so it's not really a problem.
So, yeah, he does that, and then he'll get his stick. Be like, I don't know about you guys. I'd really like to go to the inn.
Yes, as would I. But guess what? We still have to kill a giant. Isn't that fun?
That is great fun, but without my spellbook, I will be less than useless.
Fair enough. We'll head there and maybe talk to McGrundon, see if he can do something about that. Or Lady Tashan.
From your experience and your education, Vince, you know the following. Losing a spellbook is fucked up for a wizard. The only thing you know is that you can dedicate the spells that you know at this point. So the spells that you have prepared, these are sharp enough in your mind that you would be able to write them down in a new spell book to have these spells available to you. All the spells that you do not have prepared and you had in your spell book are gone.
And writing those spells down in a new spell book, does it still take the the gold and stuff to write them down, or is it just, yeah? So it's just like learning a new spell, but I can do it offhand. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well then.
Cool.
But is he an evocation wizard? Is he?
I am.
Yeah, which means it's I think half cost for evocation spells.
Yeah, of course. The usual rules apply.
Yeah.
I take it rituals don't count.
What do you mean?
So ritual spells I have always ready. They're not prepared as such, but I can always cast them. But I'm assuming that's from the spellbook.
That's
so
from
I wouldn't
the
be
spellbook,
able
exactly.
to. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to.
Spellbook as a reference point.
Yeah, that's fine. And last thing, he's just gonna try. Right, okay, come on. And he will try and summon who?
Roll a d20.
D20. Any modifiers?
Mm,
No, that's a 4.
no.
Damn it. And he got a new leg.
He did.
Like
Well, then-
Lieutenant Dan.
Like Lieutenant Dan. Well then, might I suggest, since the only thing here is possibly a multi-eyed slime monster, that we go find a safe place to camp for the night, get a good rest, and maybe deal with heading back towards the inn in the morning. I will go to Lady Tachan and see if she has anything that can be done about Grimhook or your spell book, and we'll split up when we get to the city, to the town.
Can we go back roughly the direction that we came in? I want to check out where he sort of glances to Ellie, where I had my incident, just on the off chance any of my stuff's there.
We've set up camp there several times, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find the spot. Yes, and maybe we'll get a long rest there. I don't know.
Just for reference point, at this point, it's quite late in the evening, close to midnight.
Right, so we'll walk for a few hours, try to get somewhere relatively safe.
I have a
and then
question.
rest.
The darkness, is it natural night dark or is it this dark blanket dark still?
It's a combination of both.
Okay.
So it is really dark.
Right. Do you have any of your light or flame spells that you can use to provide light for?
Me? Flame? Ha! Man,
Cool.
throws up light.
Excellent. Well then, might I
And then
suggest we-
whenever you turn away, he sort of looks at it and goes,
Right then. Then might I suggest we gather our things and go now.
All right.
Like, oh, yeah, let me gather my... Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, you do have your trusty new bag and your pipe.
No tobacco.
I have herbs. You can try to smoke those.
He just sort of holds pepper. Yeah.
I'm just
Put
gonna
a
take
little
my
pinch of herb in there.
quarterstaff and try to hand it to Vince.
Is it a quarterstaff to you, or would it be a full-sized? A full quarterstaff?
It says
That's,
quarterstaff. That's a good question. I don't know.
It is a full size quarterstaff actually. Yeah. D&D doesn't shrink things down in weapon areas.
That's cool.
So I've been
Okay,
walking
yeah,
around with a
yeah.
giant stuff. Interesting.
Well, to be fair, a quarterstaff isn't that
No, but
long in the grand
it's
scheme of things.
still
But yeah,
pretty
compared
big.
to you, yeah.
Yeah.
She's quite small. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite well.
No, if you're offering it, you'll take it and
Yeah.
be like, thanks. It doesn't quite make up for killing me, but or trying to kill me, but it's a start.
But how did I kill you?
Mm,
Because I think I was
Claws?
chasing... No, fire.
No claws.
Fire.
I was there.
So was
No
I.
claws. So it was he sort of like moves his poncho and points to the sort of
I
scars
never
on his
caught
chest,
up
like
that far.
It's-
And when
Yeah,
I was about to catch
I would argue
up,
that you did.
I
Where were
think
you
I was
killed?
chasing the
We're-
hag.
Are we all walking as we're having this conversation?
I would assume
Oh,
so. Yeah.
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 So
Baron's picked up his torch and trying to figure out where we're going here. So.
Because later on we found your body, but I really thought you killed Fluffles.
Okay. So did I. That's kind of why I ran.
So
But,
it
or
looked like
looks
you
at Fluffles and
hit
be like,
it with
"But-"
a lot of fire in the tree,
That sounds like me, but
and you smiled when you
Yeah.
ran away.
I did not. I ran fast. I did
No,
not look
but
back.
it looked like you were smiling, and you looked so smug about it, and it really pissed me off.
Doesn't anybody realize we were at the time battling a hag?
Yeah, and
That can change
that's what
form.
I'm saying. And I think I was chasing the hag, but I wasn't sure.
Vince is like, wait, it was a hag?
Yes, she's the hag was very good at illusionary magic and was capable of making herself look like other things. So and sound like other things. At one point, Ali called from one distant side during a battle, but was actually on the other side. So
It wasn't me.
if the hag, exactly, were the hag this good at illusionary magics and mimicry, I would assume whatever killed you was not, in fact, Ali.
What a bitch.
Yes, that's why she's dead. So is her son.
Is it dead? Good.
Oh, it's yes.
Yes, I also burnt it in your honor.
Yes, this is true.
I wanna.
And then Grimhook burned himself in your honor.
Apparently so.
And we burned your blood.
Was it
too.
William?
Oh yes, we burned your body. What the? That was weird.
I don't think you did.
We had the funeral and everything.
Yeah.
We did, yes.
I named your fire hat.
I sang a song. It was beautiful.
Oh. Did Varen cry?
Oh yes.
Good.
No, I
Wept
did not
openly.
cry.
Yeah.
Like a
I
sea
was
of
the one
tears
that held
streaming
your
down his
service.
face. Yes, in his weeping arms. Yes. yes.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Good. That is
Yeah.
all I wanted.
Yep.
From a funeral I didn't know I had.
Yes, I even wrote a nice hymn for you.
Good. I'm glad I didn't hear it.
I thought you were dead.
Well then.
Don't you dare go
we'll
fake
sort
die
that.
on us again. And I will hold up the ladle and threaten him with it.
It is not high on my to-do list. And I get the feeling that things like that won't happen all the time.
I
Better
hope
not.
not. That was
Better-
really strange.
Speaking of strange, it's far more dark than it should be. Maybe we should quicken our pace.
I agreed.
Roll anybody who's leading you guys a survival check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
I think Vince will just be licking his wounds.
Yeah, and Gemini's like towards the middle.
That's not great. 6.
6. You kind of look around. Fuck. You've been walking for an hour or so, and you were pretty sure you were on the right path, but as you look around and you take a couple of steps one way, another couple of steps the other way, this place looks unfamiliar to you.
Okay, I think we've got lost. Does someone want to take the reins?
I'll give it my best shot. I'm not particularly
Can
good at
Vince
these things.
help him?
Yeah, roll a survival check, straight roll.
Straight roll on survival with Gemini. That's great. Okay. Fuck.
Bear in mind, anyway.
Son of bitch. That's a 4.
That's a
Mm,
4.
dear.
It's worse.
In hindsight, it might have been better doing that the other way around.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe we should go that way.
Yes, it's.
So we have stopped.
Yeah,
am
Gemini's not sure
gonna-
which way he's going. He's going to
I
stop.
will turn around and just look around because I suspecting that a gunk of slop is gonna attack us any moment because it's missing still, and we don't know what it was or if it turned into Vince or what happened with it. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna attack us because I'm really paranoid.
Okay.
You look around, aware or alert for anything jumping out of the darkness.
Mhm.
And the men kind of discuss which direction to go and what to do. But, well,
Well, I'm
Okay.
not sure it was that way, Gemini.
Towards the trees that look just like these trees.
Yes.
Vince is just like,
Vince?
it's forest. I haven't been here before.
Guys, Guys,
I could hazard a guess if you want, but
guys,
Yes, Ellie.
should we maybe set up camp for tonight? And when it becomes live, we might be able to track our steps back out. Because remember, there was kind of like a big path we were supposed to walk out through.
Yes.
Like we went up the valley and over the hill, and there was a kind of big path. And
I don't think we're going to make it out of this forest anytime soon.
So, who's best off right now for not sleeping? We need to really decide how our watches are going to go.
I can take first watch.
Ellie,
Okay.
roll your perception.
9.
9. You see something moving in the darkness.
Oh,
And it's coming your way.
I am readying a firebolt, and like this golden surge just goes through me, and fire comes off in my hand, basically. And I'm going,
Okay.
halt! Who's there?
Yeah, ready, mockery.
Ready and
Vince will throw his light ball towards wherever she's pointing.
As you see the light appear, it's not as bright as you would have wanted or expected it to be, but you see a shadowy figure stepping into the light, and you know this person. It's the Dryad.
Ah.
Oh.
Release mockery.
I will release the firebolt.
puts his
Orb.
actually
She sees
all
you,
has a shield.
She runs up to you, Gemini, and embraces you
Brace back.
and kisses you.
Kiss back.
As she says, in because you're the only one that spoke Sylvan, right?
Yes.
If I remember correctly. She says in Sylvan, "You did it. You were amazing." As she kisses you again.
Yes, I am. Kiss back.
You
yes.
guys want a room or?
Well, do you guys want a show?
Yes.
No,
I'm sort of leaning on the quarterstaff.
As she kind of turns towards the others and says to them, you, of course, Gemini, understand this. You are all amazing. Thank you so much. You've done this forest a great service.
I'm sorry, love. They don't speak Sylvan. They speak Elvish. Remember, it was a whole thing.
So this is a really interesting conversation.
Vince will say hello in Elvish, just like, hey.
Yes. Hello.
So the hag is dead then, and there's no need to worry about that.
Thank you.
But there was an issue with a cauldron of bubbling eyes that seems to be. It appears to be sentient.
Well, it's missing.
I know nothing of this.
Yes, I didn't assume you would. Can you lead us out of here?
Yes.
Just to
Where do you wish
safer.
to go?
A safe area where we can rest for the night, not worry about things attacking us.
You are safe here. I will protect you.
Vince will say in Elvish, like, you haven't seen a book about lots of doodles of fire in it, a few spells, sort of just bound sheets of paper. A staff?
Books are sad things.
Not this one. This one's great. It brought me lots of joy.
I have a question for
Is
you.
it yours?
Yes.
You killed trees for it.
I didn't. Someone did. But without that book, I wouldn't have been able to kill the hag. Shh, don't tell her I wasn't there.
I haven't
Ellie
seen it.
just looks weirdly at Vince right now.
Right. Before we go down that road, doesn't seem like a good place to go. I have a question. Do you remember the creature that you helped that was friends with him? Point at Vince.
Hood.
Okay. Good to know. Then yes, I think if you would like to protect us while we get a rest, that would be good.
All right.
Dude, you haven't seen my owl as well. He's not coming back to me.
No, I haven't seen it. But he seemed connected to you. He should be close.
All right.
Gemini conks out. Just, oh, well, that was a lovely conversation. You're welcome to share my bedroll. Good night.
I assume we're sleeping here then?
Yes, you're safe here. You can rest.
Is she speaking common?
Oh, sorry. You spoke in common.
I
Sorry.
don't have any of these languages. I don't
Yeah.
understand what's going on.
No, then she doesn't understand you either. So
I
sorry.
will translate for Varian
Oh,
and
I
relay
see.
information both ways.
Yeah. Vince will plonk himself down in the what would you call it, in the nook of a tree, like in between the roots, sort of thing. He'll just lie down.
Ellie, you should still take first watch with the Dryad. 4 pairs of eyes are better than 2. And alert me if anything strange happens. Adieu.
Vince will turn to Ellie and be like, Ellie, you don't have any paper or writing implements?
Not that good right now. Maybe later.
Paper, you say, Vince? I have some
and-
parchment and ink, but it's just normal ink.
That should be fine.
To
If
do
you want
what?
to jot down some notes.
To do what?
Well, I'm not sure. He's was going to maybe attempt to do a spell and write
You
it
can't
down.
write it down on regular paper.
You can't write it.
Bugger.
You notice. So.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So Ellie keeps watch.
Yes, and
The rest sleep.
And I don't quite trust the Dryad at the moment either, because who knows, she might be in disguise.
Well, as she notices you awake, she walks up to you and hugs you and kisses you as well.
I am confused.
As she says in Elvish, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
She sits down and keeps watch. And I think we'll call it quits here and pick it up. Hopefully next week, but probably the week after that. But I'll talk to our lovely Ellie about it to see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for tuning in, if you tuned in, and thank you for watching if you're watching it at a later point. And thanks to the group for being here. It's nice to finally be back to the adventure. Yeah. Anyway, have a good time. Bye.
Bye bye.